Most people are not living. They are rehearsing. They wake up not to rise, but to repeat. The same thoughts, the same fears, the same small version of themselves wrapped in routine and labeled normal. But beneath that repetition, behind the veil of compliance and comfort, a silent cry echoes in the soul of every man and woman. This is not who I am meant to be. Carl Jung didn't whisper. He warned. He said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Not to imitate, not to conform, but to become. And yet, most people never will. Not because they can't, but because becoming demands the death of pretending. It requires the courage to face the self that has been buried under years of fear, guilt, shame, and silence. You were not born to wear masks. You were born to wear meaning. But meaning doesn't come wrapped in approval. It's not given by others like it's forged in fire. The fire of confrontation, the fire of change, the fire of becoming. You want to change your life? Then stop chasing the world and start facing yourself. The war is not external. It never was. It is within, between who you are and who you've been told to be. And until you confront that war, you will stay at war with everything else, with your relationships, your goals, your confidence, your peace. There is no freedom without identity, and identity cannot be inherited. It must be discovered. The mind is not a cage unless you make it one. But to unlock it, you must be willing to destroy the parts of you that were built on survival instead of truth. The parts that learned to stay quiet to keep the peace. The parts that chose acceptance over authenticity. Those parts must die so the real you can breathe. Your pain is not random. It's directional. It's the compass pointing to what's unresolved. And the more you run from it, the more it rules you. But if you turn and face it, if you stare it in the eye and say, "Teach me," that pain will become your power. That fear will become your fuel. That shadow will become your teacher. Jung called it the shadow, the rejected self, the parts you disown, the emotions you deny, the instincts you suppress. Not because they're evil, but because they were never accepted. And the longer you exile your shadow, the more it rules your life in silence. It leaks through your habits. It sabotages your goals. It poisons your relationships. To become whole is not to become perfect. It's to integrate, to bring the light and the dark into alignment, to stop pretending you are only your virtues and start owning your chaos with consciousness. Because power isn't found in denial. It's found in wholeness. You are not broken. You are divided. And what feels like brokenness is often just unintegrated brilliance, unlived potential, unexplored truth. Most people don't change because they don't understand what they're truly afraid of. It's not failure. It's not rejection. It's revelation. It's the terrifying freedom that comes with becoming real. Because once you are real, you lose your excuses. You lose the ability to blame the world. You become responsible for your life, fully, ruthlessly, unapologetically. And that is where power begins. Mindset is not about positive thinking. It's about truthful thinking. It's not repeating affirmations to avoid reality. It's piercing through delusion to face it. Mindset is the architecture of becoming. Your thoughts are not decorations. They are blueprints. What you repeat, you become. What you avoid, you empower. To become who you are, you must stop negotiating with the voice of limitation. You must kill the narratives that keep you small. You must destroy the idea that who you are today is the final version. There is no final version. You are a process, a becoming, a continuous unfolding. Every belief you hold either frees you or enslaves you. So examine them, one by one. Where did they come from? Who gave them to you? Do they serve your highest truth or someone else's comfort? You must believe in a version of yourself that you have not yet met. You must see him before the world does. You must speak from the future before your present agrees. This is the essence of vision, not just where you're going, but who is going there. You will be called delusional. You will be misunderstood. You will lose people, but you will find yourself. And in that finding, you will gain something far more powerful than validation. You will gain conviction. Conviction is not loud. It's not showy. It's quiet but unshakable. It's the silent knowing that you were made for more and the unwavering commitment to walk toward it. No matter who doubts, no matter how long it takes, vision requires solitude. You must learn to walk alone, to think deeply, to detach from the noise of the crowd. Because most people are not thinking, they're reacting. Their lives are echoes of other people's expectations. But you must become original. Originality is not rebellion. It's remembrance. It's remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. It's unlearning the lie that fitting in equals worth. It's choosing expression over approval, truth over trend. You will not become who you truly are by staying who you've always been. Clarity is what happens when you burn away the noise, when you strip life down to what is essential, when you stop asking, "What do they want from me?" and start asking, "What is mine to give?" Clarity comes in silence, in suffering, in self-confrontation. It is not given to the distracted. It is not found in the crowd. It is earned through the ruthless discipline of paying attention to your soul. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are simply unfinished. Becoming is not a single event. It is a daily rebellion against everything that tries to make you forget who you are. You do not need to find yourself in the world. You need to remember yourself, reclaim yourself, rebuild yourself. The world does not need more copies. It needs you, the real you, awakened, armed with clarity, and unafraid to speak with the voice that was buried for years under silence. And that voice is still there, waiting. Speak, move, become. The real battle is not between you and the world. It's between you and the mirror. Because that reflection holds everything you avoid, the unlived potential, the ignored responsibilities, the forgotten fire. And until you confront it, you will always feel the ache of misalignment, that subtle torment of knowing you're capable of more, but choosing less. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." This isn't a quote for a poster. It's a map for liberation. Dreams are easy. Awakening is violent. It tears apart your illusions. It reveals what you're still clinging to, your comfort, your ego, your victimhood. But if you want freedom, if you want to truly live, you must be willing to be undone. Becoming who you truly are is not a glow-up. It's a burn-down. The false self must die. The people-pleaser, the procrastinator, the version of you that lived for approval and settled for survival. Let him die, because what's being born is dangerous, not to others, but to the systems that profit from your mediocrity. The world is afraid of awakened men and women, not because they're loud, but because they cannot be controlled. They do not comply, they do not bend. They live with a sacred kind of defiance, the kind that says, "I will not abandon myself to belong." This is the power of becoming. Not becoming what's popular, becoming what's real. But this journey will not hand you rewards. It will hand you mirrors. And those mirrors will show you everything. Your self-sabotage, your indecision, your lies, your trauma, your patterns. And in that moment, you will be tempted to turn away, to retreat back into the comfort of blame and numbness. Don't. Stay. Look deeper. Because on the other side of that discomfort is the blueprint, the code, the design of the person you were always meant to be. But make no mistake, clarity without action is cowardice. You cannot think your way into transformation. You must move, act, build, change. You must become a force of nature wrapped in discipline, a soul on fire wrapped in structure. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a reverence, a daily ritual that honors the future you are building. And it doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up when motivation has left the room. It holds the line when emotion screams to quit. Discipline is love in action, not love for comfort, but love for potential. The man who honors discipline over desire becomes unstoppable. Because desire will lie to you. It will promise you rest, reward, relief before you've earned any of it. It will seduce you with shortcuts, but every shortcut is a detour from your power. Discipline is the compass. It points you toward purpose, even when the terrain is brutal and the rewards are far. And when you link discipline to purpose, you become dangerous. Because now you're not just surviving, you're becoming. Purpose is not found, it's forged. In the trials, in the tension, in the moments no one sees. It grows through sacrifice, through subtraction, through saying no to everything that dilutes your fire. Your purpose is the echo of your soul's design. And it's not a brand, not a slogan. It's who you are when the world is quiet and the distractions are gone. When your actions begin to serve that purpose, when your mornings, your habits, your thoughts align with it, you don't just feel better, you feel powerful. You start walking differently, speaking differently, thinking differently. Not because you're trying to impress, but because you're free. Freedom is not the absence of struggle. It's the alignment with your highest self despite it. You will struggle. You will fail. You will be doubted. Good. Because you cannot develop strength without resistance. You cannot develop resilience without pain. You cannot become whole without breaking the parts of you that were never real. Resilience is earned in the repetition of rising. Not just once, but over and over again, until rising is no longer a reaction. It's who you are. And in that repetition, something changes. You begin to trust yourself, not because life is easier, but because you are stronger. Gratitude becomes your fuel. You stop resenting the hard moments. You start realizing this is the curriculum. This is the forging. This is the fire that purifies. You don't need things to be easier. You need to be exactly here, with your eyes open, your soul awake, and your decisions aligned with your destiny. Adaptability becomes your ally. Because you realize life will not go according to plan, but your power was never in the plan. It was in the presence, in your ability to pivot, to endure, to evolve. Evolution is messy. It's not a linear climb. It's spirals, collapses, rebirths. But each time you rise, you do so with less ego and more essence. Learning becomes sacred. Not as consumption, but as transformation. You learn not just from books, but from experience, from failure, from feedback, from paying attention to what your soul is whispering in the silence. Most people never become who they truly are because they are afraid to feel their life. They numb, distract, perform. But you are not here to perform. You are here to be. To become the person who does not need the world to validate their worth because their worth is self-evident. Lived, felt, owned. You want to become who you truly are? Then stop hiding. Stop editing yourself for comfort. Stop living as a diluted version of your truth. Because the world is waiting. Not for your perfection, but for your presence. The world is waiting for the unfiltered fire of your authenticity. And make no mistake, if you do not bring it forward, no one will. Because no one else was assigned your vision. No one else carries your soul's fingerprint. If you abandon your truth, it dies with you. That's the tragedy of most lives. Not that they failed, but that they never fully showed up. You were not born to drift. You were born to pierce through, to carve your name into the stone of time, not for vanity, but as a testament to what is possible when a human being chooses truth over fear. alignment over approval. You are not the opinions of others. You are not your worst day. You are not the story they wrote about you. You are the force that rewrites it. Every breath you take is a blank page. Every step, a declaration. So move like you mean it. Speak like the future depends on it. Act like your ancestors are watching, and your descendants are waiting. There is no more time for self-abandonment. No more time to apologize for being intense, for being focused, for wanting more. Wanting more is not greed, it's divine dissatisfaction. It's your soul remembering that you were built for greatness, not comfort. The crowd will tell you to slow down, to quiet down, to stay in line. You were never meant to fit in that line. You were meant to draw your own. And yes, you will be lonely at times. Growth is not a group activity. Expansion requires separation. You will outgrow rooms, conversations, relationships, even versions of yourself that once felt like home. Let them go. Let comfort die so character can be born. Let convenience fall away so conviction can rise. Because the cost of becoming who you are is the death of who you're not. And it is the most sacred trade you will ever make. So now ask yourself, are you willing to be misunderstood? Are you willing to walk alone? Are you willing to shed your comfort to wear your crown? Because this moment right now, is not just another day. This is the day you draw the line between who you've been and who you choose to become. This is the day you stop waiting for the world to give you permission, and you give it to yourself. This is the day you stop running from your reflection and start rising through it. This is the day you stop rehearsing and start living. The truth is, most people never become who they truly are, not because it's impossible, but because it's inconvenient. But you are not most people. You feel the calling in your bones, the pull in your chest, the quiet roar that says more is possible if you're willing. Willing to endure, willing to rise, willing to burn away who you're not to become who you are. So rise now, with eyes wide open, with heart on fire, with spine unbent and soul awakened. Not someday, now. Because the world does not need more people who conform. It needs more people who become. And the power of becoming who you truly are will shake the earth.